Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subject Computer Science for 11th Standard A section. Chapter 9 Introduction to C++. Last class we discussed the part 1 of same chapter, chapter 9. So where we discuss introduction, character set and lexical units or tokens. Now in this session we are going to cover the following topics, that is input output operators, that is shortcut called IO operators, sample program, a first look at C++ program, execution of C++ program, C++ development environment, types of errors. So let's start our class. So last class we discussed the tokens where we see many operators like unary operator, binary operator, ternary operator, arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operators. Now in this class first topic is input output operators. What is the use of this operator? So other than the operator which we already discussed, there was a special operator called the input output operator. First we are going to see the input operator. C++ provide this input operator to extract the value through the keyboard. So the function of this operator, that is, this is the operator, input operator, symbol of the input operator this is. So this operator is used to extract the value through keyboard and assign it to the variable on its right. அதாவது that means right side of the operator. Hence it is called as a stream extraction or get from operator. So this input operator are otherwise called as stream extraction or get from operator. It is a binary operator. So because it needs two operands, that's why we called it as binary operator. That is a get from or stream extraction operator is called as a binary operator. The first operand is the predefined identifier Cin. So Cin pronounced as Cin. So this is the name of a identifier. So what is identifier? Identifier is the name of any part of the program. So here Cin is the predefined variable which is used to store the values which is extracted from the keyboard. So that identifies the keyboard as the input device. The second operator must be a variable. So for this operator, that is input operator, get from or stream extraction needs two operands. One is Cin, that is the identifier for a keyboard. Second one is variable. So in this diagram you can see Cin, get from and variable. So Cin get all the data which are entered in keyboard and transfer to this operator called get from operator, and this operator will simply transfer the data to the variable. So to receive or extract more than one values at a time, get from operator should be used for each variable. This is called cascading of operator. So first here in this example you can see Cin get from num. So Cin is the identifier, that is predefined identifier, refers to keyboard values. So whatever data is entered in keyboard value is stored in the variable, and because this is an get from operator, input operator extract the value stored in Cin and send to num. So here num is the variable. So predefined object Cin extract a value typed on keyboard and store it in the variable num. Now for example, in this statement we extract one value and store it in the one variable. Suppose we want to extract more than one values, for example two values, then what we want to do? So this is the example, Cin get from x, get from y. This is used to extract two values. Cin reads the first value and immediately assign that to a variable x. Next it reads the second value which is typed after a space and assign that to y. So here in this statement, this Cin accept two values. One, and when first value is accepted, immediately store that value to the variable, first variable. Here x is the first variable, that's why Cin immediately store the first value to the x. And after getting second value, Cin we store the second value to y. So Cin identifies the first and second value by giving a space. So user can separate the first and second value by giving a space. So this is called cascading operator. So here you can see to receive or extract more than one value at a time. This is called input operator. Get from operator should be used for each variable. For example, here we accept two values for two variable. For each and every variable we use separate get from operator. This is called cascading of operator. Now we are going to see the next operator called output operator. So in the get from, this is an operator called output operator. It is also called as stream insertion or put to. This operator is used to send the strings or values to the of the variable on its right to the object on its left. So it is opposite to cin. Cin accept the value from the left side and send it to the right side. But C out, that is the operator put out operator, sends the value from its right and to its left, send it to the left side. So this is also binary operator. The first operand is the predefined identifier called C out. So COUT should be pronounced as C out. That identifies monitor as a standard output object. The second operand may be a constant, variable or expression. So this operator called put to operator needs two operand. The first operand is cout. The second operand may be constant, it may be variable or any expression. So look at this diagram. Here you can see this is the put to operator. These have two operands. This is the first operand, this is the second operand. So put to operator accept all the data from its right side and send it to left side. This operator cout will simply send the data received from this put to monitor. So here you can see example welcome put to cout put to operator welcome. So consider this operator. The right side value is welcome, which is transferred to cout. From cout, it is transferred to monitor. So a predefined object cout sends the given string welcome to the screen. In the same way, like cin, cout also need two operator for separate values. For example, if you have to send two separate values simultaneously, then you can use the two separate put to operator. This is also called as cascading of operator. So here we send the first value, the sum is equal to, and second value is sum. The first value is the sum is equal to and second value is sum. The first value is enclosed with a double quotation, so that's why it is called a string, which we already learned in C++. All the strings should be enclosed with a double quotation. This is the condition. And here in sum you cannot see a single or double quotation because sum is not a string or literal, it is a variable. It stores some values. That's why cout accept a string and values of variable sum and send to monitor one by one. So first send this sum is equal to string and then send the sum value. In this example you can see cout, the first value is the area, this is the string. The second value is the expression. So what is expression? Expression is a statement which do some operation. Here you can see 3.14 into r into r. So this is the expression of pi r square. So value of the pi is 3.14 and here r refers to radius. So pi r square value is calculated and sent to the cout. So cout send all the data to monitor. Here you can see there is only one expression a plus b, and after executing this expression there is net result is sent to the cout by this put to operator. So all the data are transferred to cout using put to operator. That's why this put to or stream insertion operator is called as output operator. This is the basic operator required for each and every statement in C++ programming for accepting input and sending output. For accepting input we need cin and get from operator. For sending output, we need cout and put two operators. Here cout is the predefined object, cin is also a predefined object. So here one thing to remember, cascading means sending more than one values to cout. For each and every value we should use separate put two operators. Now we are going to see the cascading of output operators. So consider this example. Here in num is equal to 20. So cout is an object which sends the value to monitor. So there are two put two operators which is used to send the value to cout from right side to left. So first it send the a value and then it set the sum value. So in the screen that send value will display like this. First the value is a is equal to, second the num value. So here you cannot see the num letter is not displayed because num is not a string, it is a variable. So find out the value of the variable. Here you can see num is equal to 20. So 20 is the value of the variable. So that's why in on the screen a is equal to 20 will be displayed. In the same way, c in cascading can be worked like this. So when cout enter two numbers means this string will transfer to cout. This simply display the content on the screen and wait for time for accepting input because we use cin object by using get from operator where we use two variable. So because we use two variable, first value is stored in the variable a, second value will store in the variable b. So first and second values are identified by giving space or pressing enter or by pressing tab key. So on the time of inputting any data and the time of execution, we should give space for first and second value. We should give space between first and second value. This is called cascading input and output operators. Now we are going to see a sample program. So in this diagram you can see a sample program. This is used to display a single string on this screen. That is, welcome to programming in C++. This is the statement, this is the sentence which you want to display on the screen. This is the purpose of this program. Very small program. For basic understanding we use this. So here in this program there are many different parts are there. So we will see one by one by line by line. So first line, here you can see the line number 1 where is the statement /C++ program to print a string. So last class we discussed the punctuators where we see this /, it is used to display a comment. So // is a single line command. What is command? This is a command statement that begins with // are considered as a commands. Compiler does not execute any command as part of the program and it simply ignores. If we need to write multiple lines, we can use this symbol /*. Is the command statement. After completing multiple lines of command, we can close the command statement by using */. So here in this program, we use // a single line comment punctuator for giving a comment. So command is a statement which is not executed by C++, it is simply ignores. So this is the line number 1. The meaning of the line number 1 is it is a command. So how we identify this is a command? Because of the symbol this. This is called punctuator, which is used to represent single line command, and this is the symbol which is used to represent multiple line commands. So next line, #include IO stream. So what is the meaning of this #include IO stream? Usually all C++ programs begins with the include statement starting with a hash. The symbol hash is a directive for the preprocessor. That means these statements are processed before the compilation process begins. So hash is the symbol which is directed to preprocessor. It means previously processed. Before executing the C++ program, these lines are executed. These lines are processed. So in C++ program, each and every program always start with a #include statement. So here #include IO stream statement tells the compiler preprocessor to include the header file IO stream IO stream in the program. So this is the meaning of the line hash include IO stream. This is the second line, which is the meaning of this line is to giving a instruction to C++ compiler to include a file, the header file, namely IO stream to this program. So next doubt is what is header file? So header file IO stream should included in every C++ program to implement input output functionalities. In simple words, we can IO stream header file contains the definition of its member object cin and cout. So cin cout is the input output objects which are used to get input from keyboard, and cout object is used to send output to the monitor. These two objects are defined inside a function, inside a file called iostream.h. If the iostream.h is not included in C++ program, we cannot use the cin cout object. So that's why we use this header file. So in other words, we can say that header files are the libraries where many predefined functions objects are created and stored for the easy programming. These objects can be utilized by the programmer by simply adding the header file at the beginning of the program. That's why we add this header file, that is iostream header file, to access the cin and cout objects. So without cin c object, we cannot accept input from keyboard and we cannot send any data to output. So this is the meaning of the line. So in fact in C++ there are many header file. We can add each and header file in one by one. So this is the simple program. That's why we use a single header file. If you use more than one header file, then you should add another line like a hash include, and within this angular bracket you want to mention the header file name like iostream. So we will see one by one. So just remember, this is the second line. The meaning of the second line is we are adding iostream header file to our program by using hash symbol. This is the preprocessor which give instruction to compiler to add this header file for using what? For using cin and cout objects, because cin and cout objects are created inside this file, that is defined in this file. Now we are going to see third line. Using namespace std semicolon. So the line using namespace std tells the compiler to use the standard namespace. What is namespace? Namespace collects identifier used for class, object and variables. Namespace provides a method of preventing name conflicts in large project. It is a new concept introduced by ANSI C++ standards committee. So namespace is the collects identifiers used for class and objects and variables. It is a recommended method by ANSI C++ standard committee for preventing the name conflicts. For example, if you are writing a very big program, then there should be not an error, any problem arise like a conflicts in name. That's why we use this line using namespace std. Next, fourth line, int main, and after that we use a symbol parenthesis. So in punctuator we learned that parentheses are used to represent function in C++. So this is the simple rule in all programming, uses this symbol for refer function. So C++ program is a collection of function. Every C++ program must have a main function. So without this main function, the is the starting point where all the C++ program begin their execution. Therefore, executable statement should be inside the main function. So this is the default function. This is the basic required function for any program. Without this function, we cannot write any single statement in C++. So every statement should be within this main function. So from fourth line you can see this main function is declared. After that, you can see there is a two open and close braces. So these braces are used to group statement. Here main function related statements are grouped between these braces. So these are the two lines which are grouped and grouped by this open brace and close braces. So this is also we learn in previous part 1 from the same chapter. So in the topic punctuator, so in here you can see the statement between curly braces, line number 5 to 8 or executable statement. This is actually called as a block of code. In line number 6, C out simply sends the string welcome to programming in C++. Through this operator, this string is sent to the object cout. This cout will send this object to monitor. So in the monitor, this statement will displayed on the screen. So as we discussed already in input output operator, in the same way the string is transferred by this output operator called put to this object cout. Cout will return the data to monitor. So in line number 7, return is a keyword which is used. Here you can see return 0 to return the value what you specify to a function. In this case it will return 0 to main function. So we will see very deeper about this return function at the time discussing about functions. Now we know what is the different parts of the simple program, how we write the C++ program. Now we are going to see how to start writing a C++ program in C++ software. So for execution of C++ program needs 4 steps. Number 1, creating source code. So includes typing, editing valid C++ code as per the rules followed by C++ compiler. Number 2, saving the source code with the extension .cpp. So each and every source code should be saved with the .cpp. Then only compiler will compile that file. This is called the source file, because all the commands are written in C++ language, that is understandable by human, and after compilation they are converted into object file. So this is the third step where this is an important step in constructing a C program. In compilation, compiler links the libraries files with the source code and verifies each and every line of code. This is the third step. So first step, what we want to do, we want to write the C++ coding in a editor, and after editing we should save the file with the extension .cpp. After we want to compile, at the time of compiling each and every line is compiled. If any mistake or errors found, it will throw error message, and depending upon the error we want to rectify it. If there are no errors, it translates the source code into machine readable object file. So this .cpp file, that is source file, is converted into object file with the extension .opj. So cpp is the file extension of source file, opg is the file extension of object file, where all the cpp files contents are converted into binary language by the compiler. After compiling, the fourth step is execution. So this is the final step of a C++ program. In this stage, the object file became an executable file with the extension .exe. So see, this is the third file created for the same source file. So this is the source file with the extension .cpp, which was created by user, and when compiling the file we create opg file. This is called the binary machine readable object file. After the machine readable object file, when we execute this file, it will converted into the exe file. Once the program becomes an executable file, the program has an independent existence. This means you can run your application without the help of any compiler or IDE. So this is the fourth step which we should follow. Now we are going to try software, and after that we try to execute a simple program which we already discussed here. So this program is going to executed by us by following this fourth step in a C++ software. So before using any C++ software, we should know what are the different softwares, C++ softwares available in market. So there are lot of IDE programs. IDE means Integrated Development Environment C++ program, which is make it easy to create, compile, execute C++ program. And many of the IDE C++ softwares are so open source. That is, all the C++ softwares are free of cost. There is no money to pay for the using that software, for downloading the software. Here you can see there are different compilers, namely Dev C++, Guinea, Code Blocks, CodeLite, NetBeans, Digital Mars, Sky IDE, Eclipse. These are the compilers which are comes under open source. So in our syllabus we are using a Dev C++ compiler. This is the famous compiler software for C++. So we can download this C++ open source software, IDE software, from this blog, that is www.blueshed.net dev places, or we can simply search dev C++ software from internet, and we can download according to our operating system. Depending upon operating system, the versions of dev C++ will vary. So download the latest version of dev C++. After downloading, install the dev C++ software. After installation, you can see a Dev C++ icon is available on the desktop. So when Dev C++ icon is available on the desktop after installation, so what we want to do, double click to open it, and to create a source file, select file new or press Ctrl plus N, and in the screen that appears, type your C++ program, save the file by using file save or pressing Ctrl plus S, and save the file with .cpp. And after saving, execute, go to the execute menu and compile and run the compile and run, or press F11 key. This is the shortcut key for compile and run. Now we are going to, after compile and run command is executed, if there was any error, it was shown in the compile log. If there was no error, then it will display successful compilation. Then you can see the output. This is the first step we want to use. We want to follow by using Dev C++. In my system I already installed this Dev C++. Now we are going to create this small C++ program using Dev C++ software. So now in desktop you can see the Dev C++ software here. Dev C++ software. When you install this software, this icon will look like this. So simply double click on this icon. You can see that software compiler will open ID with the IDE environment. So this is the screen, opening screen of Dev C++. After that, we want to follow second step. Go to file menu, select new, select source file. Go to file menu, select new, select source file, or we can use the shortcut Ctrl PN. When you press this command, a new file is opened. Here you can see with the name untitled. Here we want to type the program. So in C++, you can see we already discussed a small C++ program with this coding. Now I am going to execute this command, execute this coding. I am trying to type this coding in C++ program. First one is double slash. This is the command, single line command. So first C++ program, simply type the statement whatever you want to display in comment section. After that we want to open hash include, the second line, where we include IOSteam header file. After that we should use namespace standard. Use namespace standard. This is optional. If you want, you can use it or you can avoid. This is very recommendable when we use a very big project. After that we want to use main function. So when main function is created, you can see whenever you open a open brace, whenever you type open brace, automatically a close brace also appeared. Between these braces you should type the statement. Here we use cout, the put to operator within this double quotation. When you type a single quotation, automatically second quotation will also available. Between these two quotation we want to type the statement which we want to display on the screen. So welcome to my first C++ program. This is the statement which I want to display on the screen. After that we should terminate this statement by using semicolon, which we already know. So this is the semicolon we use here, but in these two lines we didn't use semicolon, because if you use semicolon here, then this line will terminate here itself. Then we cannot use the object of iOS team, that is cout and cin here. That's why at the end of the header file include statement we should not give this semicolon. So in the same way, here if you give semicolon, it is uh, not at all give any meaning to compiler, because this is a comment line. So after that, here we use the return, which we'll discuss later in a function topics of same C++. So this is the simple program which we discussed in this topic. Now after completing this, we want to save this file. So for that, go to the file menu, select save, or we can use the shortcut control plus S also. So when you press the file save or a control plus S, you can see a save as dialog box will appear. Here you can give the file name. Now I am going to give the file name as a demo file. So you simply type the demo. Save as type will automatically recognized by this compiler, that is .cpp will automatically accepted by this file. If you want, you can give demo C++. If you didn't give, then .cpp will be automatically accepted for this source file by this compiler. After giving the file name, simply type save. So when you give the file name, you can see that in this tab the file name is displayed demo.cpp. So now this is the source file we created. Now after creating the source file, we want to go to the next step, where we try to compile and execute. For compile and execute, go to execute menu and select the option compile and run. So this is the step which is given in your book. So in this step, your program is compiled and automatically run. So press this, or you can use the shortcut F11. So the compiling process starts. Now here you can see the namespace. In this area there was a error was occurred. So use namespace is not a correct valid code. So go to the program. Here using, you can see using namespace, this is the line. In third line you can see using namespace standard is the right keyword for you, where we want to use. So using namespace, so this is how the compiler compiles each and every line and display the error with the line name. So here you can see each and every line number is displayed with the column number, and shows the error, what is error also. So depending upon our errors, it will display the compilation log. After correcting the mistake, again go to the execute and select compile and run. So when your program is correct and there was no error, now here you can see processing C++ file, you can see error 0, warning 0. So output file is created, demo.exe, that is object file is created, and automatically demo.exe file also created. So this is the output file. Welcome to my first C++ program statement is displayed on the screen. So you can see the output. So process exited after 0.3429 second with return value 0. If you want to continue, press any key, then this output will be closed. So this is the simple method for creating a C++ program. If you want to do any changes, you can do. So here I am going to add change some of the thing. For example, welcome to C++ program is replaced with some other word. For example, hello dear students. So now I change the name. So after changing the name, save the file, use control plus S or file save command. So go to execute. Here you can see there are two commands are here. One is compile and run. So this one is the third command, combination of the previous two commands. We use this command. So when we use this command, compiler will compile the file and automatically run the file. But if you want to see one by one, so you can use it. For example, you want to compile only and you don't want to run, then you can press this button and the shortcut key is F9. So when you use compiling, then here you can see compiling process is executed. So after compiling, here you can see the message. So here you can see compilation result, error 0, warning 0, output file demo.exe is created. Because demo.cpp is the source file, for that source file an object file is created with the opj extension, and after that for executing the file, the demo.exe file is created by the compiler. And if you want to run, go to execute and select run. So here you can see the output, hello dear student. This is the statement which we typed here. So this statement will transfer through this put to operator, output operator to this object cout. This out will simply send to this output on the screen. So one thing remember, all the C++ output will display on this command base only. So now you know how to use a C++ program, how to start a simple C++ program. Now we are going to discuss the next topic. We already discussed the topic called working with C++, dev C++. Now we are going to see the next topic, types of error. There are three types of error in C++. One is syntax error, another one is semantic error, another one is runtime error. So we will see one by one. What is syntax error? Syntax is a set of grammatical rules for construct a program. Every programming language has a unique rules for constructing the source code. Syntax error occurs when these grammatical rules are violated. For example, the rule for using the cout is cout put to operator. After that you want to specify the expression or a string, and at the end of the statement you should add a semicolon. As per the grammatical rules of C++, every executable statement should terminate with a semicolon. But this statement does not end with the semicolon. This is called the grammatical rules. So in the same way, a program has not produced expected result. So I think you understand what is syntax error. Syntax means a grammatical rules for languages. If the rules are violated, for example, each statement should terminate with semicolon. If the semicolon is not given at the end of the statement, then the error will occur. That error is called syntax error. For example, go to the C++ program. So here if you remove the semicolon and compile the program by using the shortcut F9, so here you can see semicolon, expected semicolon before return. So before return they expect semicolon. This is called syntax error. So here we violated grammatical rules. When now we are going to discuss the second error, semantic error. This error are produce expected result even though the program is grammatically correct. It may be happened by wrong use of variable, operator or order of execution. This means program is grammatically correct but it contains some logical errors. So semantic error is called as logical error. It means in program there was no syntax error but there was not a result which was produced is not a expected result. So the result shown by that program is wrong. This is called semantic error. We will learn more about this semantic error in upcoming chapters. Now we are going to see the third error called runtime error. Runtime error occurs during the execution of a program. It occurs because of some illegal operation that takes place. For example, if a program tries to open a file which does not exist, it results in a runtime error. So this is the three type of error in C++. Now we are going to see the next topic in the next lesson. I hope the basic knowledge about C++ program you gain in this video, in this lesson. Now we will continue our same lesson chapter 9 in the next video. uh, so try to understand this basic concept, try to utilize the book back exercises, and try to execute the same programs and try to get the output. If you have any doubt, contact me. Prepare well, to develop your skills and knowledge. Prepare for examination. Best of luck. Assalamu alaikum.